I'm Roman Yossi of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Dante Fabro of the Nashville Predators.
This is Philip Forsberg of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Colton Sissons of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Eustace Aros of the Nashville Predators.
You're listening to the Renegades of Puck
with Crazy Charlie.
Bunker, welcome to the Renegades of Puck podcast. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. And before we get to the No Half Step in Hockey covered first, let me direct you to our home website, renegadesofpuck.com. Once you go to renegadesofpuck.com, you learn everything you need to know about the show. Once you're good and educated about the show, you click on that merchandise tab, take you straight to our classic logo t-shirt, our Pride logo t-shirt, and so much more. All the gimmicks you come to know and love and expect from the Renegades of Puck are all still available in our online store, whether that's socks, throw pillows, wall art, bed sets, or something like 82 more items that I did not bother to list just now. After all, we've sold out so that you, right there, you can buy in. Social media is of critical importance to this operation, so here's how you can support the Renegades of Puck. Please give us a follow in the trenches on X or perhaps on Threads, that thing over there that goes nowhere. Facebook, and also Instagram. You can find us on TikTok. It's where you can find the Renegades Puck. Anywhere you prefer to act on social media, that's where you can find us. So please give us a like, give us a follow. YouTube, subscribe to the channel, please. We could use some support right there. I sure do appreciate all of our recent subscribers, but I'm always looking for more Renegades to jump in the trenches. Check out the latest episodes of Renegades of Puck TV, our preview and recap segments, all of our interview segments, and so much more right there on YouTube. Just search Renegades of Puck. Subscribe to the channel today. Turn on those notification buttons because we just putting out content all hours of the day and night long. We are a content machine right now during this particular hockey season. Obviously, you can tell. The audio podcast can be found thanks to the Full Press NHL Network, and the Full Press Predators podcast can be found across numerous platforms. Whichever it is you prefer to listen to your podcasts on, go ahead and like the show there. Follow us along on, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, Amazon, several other podcast platforms. Whatever it is you prefer. Again, you can find us today from local to global in 2023 to 2024, rapidly approaching 10 million all-time downloads. We sure do appreciate each and every one of you for checking out the show. Venmo, that's how you can support the show financially. You can make a donation by going to Venmo and searching out Renegades Puck, or you can just scan that QR code that's right there on your screen. It's so easy and so convenient. You can do it right now. Every dollar goes a long way to helping the Renegades of Puck, so we sure do appreciate each and every one of you that's taken the time and helped financially support the Renegades of Puck over the last couple of seasons as we have built our studio from the ground up and continued upgrading and making things better behind the scenes and on camera. Maybe one day we'll have enough money to get a decent host on this show. That's right. Maybe we will. That's Venmo. Scan the QR code that's on your screen or just search Renegades of Puck today. Now, listen, I know time for No Half Step in Hockey coverage. This seems like a milestone number, but for the Renegades of Puck, we are always knocking down milestone numbers. It's time for operation number 875. That's right. Time for show number 875. And at this moment in hockey history, the Nashville Predators currently find themselves in fourth place in the Central Division after 58 games skated. Their record of 31-25 and 264 points has them in a wild card spot and has them 11 points behind an automatic qualifying spot, which would be third place in the Central Division. On the road, which is where the Nashville Predators will continue and wrap up their 5-game road trip, they have a record of 17-10-2. That is an impressive road record. That is only one win behind most wins on the road in the Central Division, which is held by the Dallas Stars. The Preds have scored 180 goals on the season. They've given up 185. Their goal differential is -5. Still on the minus side, but it's been improving over the course of this road trip so far. Let's talk about the Central Division most updated standings after Saturday night's action. The Dallas Stars still in first place at 78 points. The Winnipeg Jets at 75. The Colorado Avalanche are at 75 as well. So the three-team weave continues, only 3 points separating first from third in the Central. It's going to come down to the final periods of the season, and that 2-3 matchup, some really good Central Division team is going to find themselves out of the playoffs in the first round. I believe those three teams are going to continue to weave throughout the rest of the season. They'll continue trading back and forth positions constantly. The Nashville Predators are the first team outside of that pack in fourth place after 58 games with 64 points. The St. Louis Blues are in fifth place with 62 points. The Minnesota Wild also with 62 points. So we are establishing three separate groupings in the Central Division. The three-team weave for what is ultimately going to be the Central Division title. The three teams competing for the wild card in the pack. The Preds currently holding one of those spots. And then the Arizona Coyotes and the Chicago Blackhawks appear to be out of it. The Arizona Coyotes were definitely in it for quite some time this season. Now, still only 50 points on the season. They have fallen 14 points behind the Nashville Predators, behind the wild card pace. The Arizona Coyotes could be quickly slipping out of this thing. And the Chicago Blackhawks are at 34 points, and they slipped out of it a long-ass time ago. In the wild card, let's update you right there since I mentioned it like 3 times already. The LA Kings hold wild card 1, 68 points. The Nashville Predators hold wild card 2, 64 points. The St. Louis Blues, the first team on the outside, looking in at 62 points, and the Minnesota Wild also at 62 points. So you see the Central Division for about 2 weeks there. It was all Pacific Division teams that were right there buzzing at the cutoff line for the wild card. Now it's all Central Division teams. I think we have a good solid 6-7 team wild card pack that's also going to come down to the final periods of the season. When it comes to the Nashville Predators, now that we've updated you on the Central Division, the wild card, let's talk about where they go after this 5-game road trip. Well, they finally get to come back to Nashville. Actually, this road trip was very compact and economical as far as calendar time. A lot of miles, though, put in by this Predators team. Before they head back Tuesday, they'll face off against the Ottawa Senators on home ice. Watch out for that game after a long road trip. The first home game back can sometimes be a little bit difficult for the home team. Thursday, Minnesota. Saturday, Colorado. So the Nashville Predators are back to their traditional Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday schedule. All those games coming up at Bridgestone Arena next week. On the 5th of March, they are facing off against the Montreal Canadiens at Bridgestone Arena. On the 7th of March, against the Buffalo Sabres. So the next 5 games after this road trip wraps up will take place on home ice, where, unfortunately, the Nashville Predators have not been very good this season. It is the oddest of things to see that the Predators have a winning record overall on the season, but have a losing record on home ice. It's the incredible road record that's propping up the Preds right now. It's 17-10-2 on the road. The home record 14-15-0. Maybe they'll be able to carry this road trip momentum back to home ice and be able to get that home record back on the positive side as well, because the Nashville Predators team is trending in a good direction, and a week ago it was not that way. So the Preds' next 5 games coming up at home. Let's talk about the Nashville Predators' next game. It is coming up, well, as a matter of fact, very soon. Back-to-back for the Nashville Predators. Last night in San Jose, tonight in Anaheim. The season series, this is the 3rd and final meeting of the regular season between the Nashville Predators and the Anaheim Ducks. They met for the first time at Bridgestone Arena. As a matter of fact, they met both times this season at Bridgestone Arena. So the Preds' only trip to Anaheim this year. The Preds fell on home ice back on November the 14th, 3-2 to the Anaheim Ducks. As a matter of fact, the Predators gave that game away. UC Saros, 17 out of 20, took the loss. Forsberg and Yossi had the goals for the Preds. Gibson picked up the win for Anaheim, 28 out of 30. Henrik Fowler and then Radko Gudas getting the game-winning goal as the Preds blew a 2-0 lead midway through this game, allowing the Ducks to come back and win that one at Bridgestone Arena. On the 9th of January, they meet for the second time. Anaheim would win that game as well, 5-3. UC Saros again taking the loss, 28 out of 33. It was Gurianov, Tomasino, and Carrier with the goals for the Preds. That is, your regular traditional game in and game out score sheet right there. Gurianov, Tomasino, and Carrier. Dostal got the win for Anaheim, 39 out of 42. He was quite good in that game, and he'll get the opportunity in this upcoming game. We'll talk about that in a minute. Anaheim had 5 different goal scorers in that game. Now, the Ducks on the season, they were actually started off pretty decent. When the Preds met them for the first time this season, the Ducks had a pretty good record, but now that record has changed dramatically. 20-34-3, 43 points on the season, has them 7th in the Pacific Division, just above the San Jose Sharks, who the Nashville Predators just finished playing. 8-19-1 on home ice. That is a really lopsided record for the home rink. 149 on the goals for, 203 for the goals against, minus 54 on the goal differential. And in their most recent stretch of hockey, we go back to the 15th of February. It was a 5-1 win at the Ottawa Senators. On the 17th of February, 9-2 loss at Toronto. Then on the 19th, a 4-3 win at Buffalo. A 7-4 loss versus the Columbus Blue Jackets on home ice on the 21st of February. And most recently, which happened to have been last night, just like the Nashville Predators playing back-to-backs, first of back-to-backs. On the 24th, it was a 3-2 shootout loss at the LA Kings. So the Nashville Predators wrapped up their game in regulation. The Ducks had to go to a shootout in LA before traveling back home. Gibson tested 48 out of 50, took the loss in the shootout in this one. That means Dostal will get the start tonight for the Anaheim Ducks, and Lankinen will get the start for the Nashville Predators. But before we get to the goaltending matchup and the individual statistics, let's talk about the team breakdown and the team rankings for both of these teams. Very similar rankings for this Anaheim Ducks team as we saw with the San Jose Sharks in the last game in the goals for category. Anaheim's generating 2.6 goals per game. That's 29th overall in the National Hockey League. The Preds now have ticked up a little bit because of this road trip. 3.07 per game is 18th in the NHL. The Preds are giving up 3.19 per game. That's 21st. The Anaheim Ducks are giving up 3.54 goals per game. That is 30th, 2 spots from the bottom of the league. In shots category, shots on goal, 31.1. The Preds are 13th. The Anaheim Ducks are 27.8 on net. That's 28th in the shots against category. The Nashville Predators giving up 30.4 per game is 19th, while the Ducks are giving up 33.1. That's 28th overall. Special teams, it is the Ducks with the better percentage power plays because they have so many fewer opportunities on the power play. 19.7% is their conversion rate, though, and that's 19th over in the NHL. 34 out of 173. Let's compare that just on the raw data side with the Nashville Predators. 38 out of 201. So the Nashville Predators converting 18.9%, are 21st in the NHL, 2 spots behind Anaheim, but they have scored 4 more power play goals on the season. When it comes to penalty kill, they're pretty much even, but the Ducks have given up dramatic more power play goals against. The Ducks are a 26th rated penalty kill in the league, killing off 76%. They've given up 55 power play goals against. That's right, 55 power play goals against. That's 10 more than the Nashville Predators. 45 power play goals against. The Predators are rated 27th in the penalty kill in the NHL. 75.5% is their kill rate. Individual statistics, top scorers for each individual team, updated and coming into the Sunday game after Saturday night's game for both of these teams. Philip Forsberg adds to his columns in all three. 27 goals, 30 assists, 57 points. Some special things about those numbers we'll talk about later on in the show. Yossi, 11 goals and 42 assists for 53 points. O'Reilly, 20 goals and 27 assists for 47 points. Nyquist is at 14 and 31 for 45. And Tommy Novak reaches 30 points now, 5th on the team in scoring. His breakdown goes 12 and 18. Over on the Duck side of things. Vetrano, 26 goals. Really good season for Frank Vetrano. 19 assists for 45 points. Leads the Anaheim Ducks. Terry's at 17 and 28 for 45. McTavish, 17 goals, 21 assists for 38 total points. Henrique, 16 goals, 21 assists for 37 points. And Strome, 9 and 22 for 31. Because of the back-to-back starts and because Gibson got worked so hard facing 50 shots plus the shootout against. We know Dosel's going to get the start. He's already picked up a victory against this Nashville Predators team. It happened on January the 9th in Nashville. On the season, his numbers are 8-14-1 as a record, 8.97 save percentage, 3.23 goals against average. Updating you on UC Saros' numbers and statistics, 23-21-2, a 9.04 save percentage, 2.95 goals against average, 2 shutouts on the season. Lankinen will get the start in Anaheim with a 7-4-0 record, .888 save percentage, 3.32 goals against average. No reason to think that Lankinen can't put up a decent performance against the Anaheim Ducks. He's been pretty solid in net when he's gotten his spot starts and opportunities. Looking forward to a good game to close out the road trip. Not too late of a start for a West Coast start time, so not going to be too bad. That's got you all set up for the Nashville Predators and the Anaheim Ducks. Game 5 of a 5-game road trip before coming on back home for a good long homestand. That's going to do it for the open of the show. Let's talk about the Rebirth Sports full game recap. Well, we got to take a quick commercial break. Coming up next, right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
Hockey players are as unique as the game itself, and your uniform should be tailored to fit you. Rebirth Sports is your sports apparel tailor. From shells, bags, warm-ups, hats, hoodies, branding, and more, let Rebirth Sports be your custom hockey tailor.
And don't forget to tell them they do more than just hockey.
Rebirth Sports on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Rebirth Sport, a match made in hockey.
It's now time for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. We go all the way back February 24th of the year 2024 when the Nashville Predators were in San Jose to continue on their 5-game road trip to take on the San Jose Sharks. Andrew Burnett deployed his lines and combinations along the way. Forsberg, O'Reilly, and Nyquist, Trennan, Sissons, and Glass, Jankowski, Novak, Evangelista, Smith, McCarron, and Sherwood. Defensive pairings are Yossi and Fabro, McDonough and Shen, Luzon and Carey. Yes, the same exact lineup as every single game of this road trip so far, so 4 games in a row. UC Saros gets the start of net in 34 seconds into the game. It is Saros coming with save on Zetterland's first shot on goal of the game for either of the two teams. At 1:33 of the first period, it's Kokkonen coming in with a save on McDonough's slap shot. That's the first shot on goal for the Nashville Predators at the 2:34 mark of the first period. UC Saros coming with a save on Barabanov at 3:41. Kokkonen a save on Cole Smith's redirect at close range. At the 4:53 mark of the first period, we get our first penalty in special teams of the game. It's Luzon off to the box. 2 minutes for tripping, putting the Predators on the penalty kill. Saros comes up with a save on Zadina, and then Saros comes up with another save on Duclair. Nashville Predators penalty kill successful, back to 5-on-5 hockey. At 7:15 of the first period, Kokkonen comes up with a save on the captain Roman Yossi. In the 10:14 mark, we get our first goal breakthrough by the Nashville Predators. It's Sherwood with his 6th goal of the season, putting the Nashville Predators on the board, giving them a 1-0 lead over the San Jose Sharks. We move on to the 11:34 mark of the first period. We find UC Saros coming with a save on Duclair. Claire at the 12:08 mark of the first period. Saros comes up with a save on Hoffman at the 16:54 mark of the first. It's Kakinen coming up with a save on Shen, and then at the 17:40 mark of the first period, it is Dante Fabro off to the box. 2 minutes for high sticking, putting San Jose back on the power play yet again. The San Jose Sharks are only able to generate one shot on net as UC Saros comes up with a save on former Nashville Predator Mikhail Granlund. That would do it for the remainder of that power play, and that would also do it for the remainder of the period. No further shots on goal, so we wrap up the end of the first period with the Nashville Predators leading 1-0. Shots on goal are 8 apiece. We are 1:24 into the second period now, and Kakinen is coming up with a save on Fabro, so the Nashville Predators get the first shot on goal of the second period. Then at 2:05 of the second period, it's Burrows picking up a penalty. 2 minutes for high sticking, putting the Nashville Predators on the power play for the first time in this game. Kakinen comes up with a save on Yossi, and then Kakinen comes up with another save on Philip Forsberg before coming up with one more save on Roman Yossi before the end of the Nashville Predators power play. Strong in net, holding the line for the San Jose Sharks. At the 4:47 mark of the second period, it's Kakinen coming up with a save on Jeremy Lauzon. At the 5:10 mark of the second period, it's Kakinen coming up with a save on Tommy Novak's wrist shot. The 6:12 mark, Kakinen comes up with another save on Philip Forsberg. The Nashville Predators are just dominating the first part of this second period, pinning the San Jose Sharks deep in their own zone for a number of lengthy shifts. At the 7:54 mark of the second period, it's Cole Smith ringing the iron and hitting the crossbar. He had a great look at it right there. At the 11:17 mark of the second period, UC Saros is going to come up with a save on Barabanov, and then we move to the 12:22 mark of the second period, past the halfway point of the game now, and Kakinen comes up with a save on Colton Sissons. At 12:52, the Nashville Predators going to get the opportunity to go back on the power play as Emberson comes up with a penalty. 2 minutes for holding, but it is in fact going to be UC Saros having to make the biggest save of the sequence, a shorthanded save on Carpenter's partial breakaway. This was a glorious opportunity for an offensively deficient San Jose Sharks team, and UC Saros comes away with the big save. He didn't have the heaviest workload, but he sure did make a number of key saves, and this was absolutely one of the biggest. Kakinen would come up with a save on the captain, Roman Yossi, as the Nashville Predators power play would continue, and then Kakinen would come up with a save on Luke Evangelista. That would do it for the Nashville Predators power play, unable to convert. At the 16:18 mark of the second period, UC Saros comes up with a save on Zardina. At the 17:10 mark of the second period, it's Thrum off to the box. 2 minutes for tripping. This is going to put the Nashville Predators back on the power play, unable to break through on their previous opportunity. This time, they are going to break through, and it is going to be Philip Forsberg scoring his 27th goal of the season. It was the patented wrist shot from the top of the face-off dot. He took a couple of strides, walked it in, picked his spot, and sniped for his 27th goal of the season, power play goal for the Nashville Predators, and the Predators now lead the San Jose Sharks 2-0. At the 18:47 mark of the second period, Kakinen comes up with one more save, this time on Michael McCarron. We hit the end of the second period, and the Nashville Predators now have 23 shots on goal for the game. That means 15 in the second. 8 shots on goal in the first, now 15 shots on goal in the second for a game total of 23, while San Jose was only able to generate 5 shots on net in the second period. So San Jose goes from 8 shots on goal to 5 shots on goal, and the Predators hold a 2-0 lead here at the end of 40 minutes of hockey. At the 1:01 mark of the third period, the San Jose Sharks, who were gaining some momentum at the end of the second period with some good puck possession, are picking up right where they left off on the clean sheet, and it is UC Saros having to come up with this big save on Granlund's wraparound. First good scoring opportunity of the third period goes to the home team, the San Jose Sharks, and then at 1:10 of the third period, it's that same Mikhail Granlund, yes, that same Mikhail Granlund, who picks up his 7th goal of the season, getting the San Jose Sharks on the board for the first time in this game. The Nashville Predators unable to get good, solid defensive zone coverage on this one. Granlund finds some good open space at close range, and he finishes getting San Jose on the board for the first time. Drama in San Jose. That's where we flip over to the backside in this sheet, and we find out what happened the rest of the way in the third period. We are now 2:50 into the final frame of this hockey game, and Kokkinen comes up with a save on glass, plus the follow-up. A great scoring opportunity right here for the Nashville Predators at the 3:17 mark of the third period. Kokkinen comes up with a save on Luzon at the 3:40 mark of the third period. It is Sherwood picking up his 7th goal of the season, his 2nd goal of this game. Nashville Predators with some good D-zone coverage after UC Saros makes a save, break out, get the 2-on-1 very quickly, and it's Sherwood carrying the puck the distance and opting to take the shot instead of make the pass, and opting to take the shot was absolutely the right call here because he snipes, beating Kokkinen for his 7th goal of the season. Nashville Predators' 3rd goal of the game. The Preds lead the San Jose Sharks 3-1. They have their 2-goal lead restored. At the 4:32 mark of the third period, Kokkinen comes with a save on the captain Roman Josi. At 5:35 of the third period, Kokkinen comes with a save on Luke Shen. We're now at the 8:37 mark of the third period, and UC Saros is coming up with a save on Eklund at 9:17. San Jose Sharks continue generating some offense as Saros comes with a save on Zadina at 9:34. The pressure continues, and Zadina finishes this one off this time. 8th goal of the season, giving San Jose Sharks their 2nd goal of the game. Preds lead 3-2. This was some doorstep jam, but it was also some lax coverage by the Nashville Predators in their own end, allowing Zadina to get loose that close to UC Saros. Not much the netminder for the Nashville Predators could do in this one. It was a backdoor finish. Wide open Zadina for San Jose. 1-goal game yet again at the 9:51 mark of the third period. UC Saros coming with a save on Zetterlund, plus the follow-up by Duclair. Everybody collides. The net gets knocked off. The puck, well, it's somewhere in that jumble of a mess. It is ruled to be not in the net, so it is waved off as a non-goal as the referee blows the whistle. The play would be reviewed. No goal would be upheld. The more times you look at it, the more it would appear that UC Saros got the toe on the puck and kept it to the outside, and then the net was knocked off before it could be moved anywhere into the goal line area. So we return to 3-2 score right here at 11:54 of the third period. Kokkinen comes up with a save on Carey at 13:19 of the third. Kokkinen comes with a save on Cole Smith at the 13:33 mark. UC Saros back to work, coming with a save on Duclair, and then at 16:27 of the third, UC Saros comes with a save on Zetterlund at the 17:07 mark of the third period. It is Saros coming with a save on Addison with the extra attacker on for San Jose and the empty net available. Gus Nyquist makes a good patient play, fires the puck into the empty net from medium range for his 14th goal of the season. The empty net goal gives the Nashville Predators a 4-2 lead, and that would be your final. The Predators outshoot the Sharks 35-25. So in the end, while it was certainly not pretty, and you would have hoped the Nashville Predators could have handled their business just a little bit better, it worked out almost exactly as the numbers and the stats would have shown this game to work out, as we took care of in the preview. So for the Nashville Predators, they've now won 4 games out of 4 games on this road trip, and they picked up 8 points, and they're 2-0 against the San Jose Sharks on the season with one more meeting to come. That's going to do it for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. We have so much more coming up to talk about. We've got analysis, we've got the box score, and a whole lot more right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm Tracy, owner-operator of Strong Style Fitness. And that's me and my training assistant, Rizzo. And we are here to bring you fitness that meets you where you are by offering circuit classes, bar-inspired classes, Tabata workouts, boot camps, guided stretching, and more, all taught by a certified personal trainer, me. To learn more, go to our website, strongstylefit.com. Subscribe on YouTube at Strong Style Fitness. Follow on social media at Strong Style Fit. But most importantly, let's get you moving. It doesn't matter if it's your first workout or you've been doing it for years. Strong Style Fitness has the workout that meets you on your journey and helps you along the path to a happier, healthier life. I understand where you've been, what you were going through, and where you were going, and I want to take you there. We'll see you on the mat. Mwah.
Welcome back in Renegades of Puck podcast. That was the Rebirth Sports full game recap. This is the analysis and opinion portion of the show. Let's talk about it. Got some things to say about this. UC Saros 23 out of 25 in this game. And you know what? I thought that he was particularly individually strong when the team in front of him was not at their best. The goals that the San Jose Sharks were able to score were lax in the defensive zone by the Predators in front of Saros, allowing Granlund way too much time and space to walk in and pick his spot. And then also allowing the second goal for the Sharks to be very much the same thing, almost from exactly the same spot. And then the Preds, frankly, let the Sharks hang around in this game. It's a really good thing that Nyquist got that empty net goal because, again, San Jose was buzzing and putting a lot of pressure on the Nashville Predators, and it should have been that way. So Saros, which is where this all began, was pretty strong in net, a good performance, and he earns his 23rd win of the season, only giving up 2 goals against the San Jose Sharks, one of the worst offenses in the entire NHL. Philip Forsberg picks up a goal and an assist in this game. Those 2 points equal 57 on the season. He's still 1 point behind point per game pace on the season, but those 2 points also get him going back in the right direction. Now, what do those 2 points mean? I've already teased it at least once that those were very important points in Nashville Predators team history. Now, Philip Forsberg is at 567 career points. That means he is second in franchise history, passing David Legwand. So Philip Forsberg with his goal and assist. And the goal came on the power play. It was a classic Philip Forsberg goal. Wrist shot snipe from the top of the circle. Hoping and looking forward to a big night in Anaheim to close out the road trip. I made a prediction that Philip Forsberg is going to have a big road trip, and he still can if he closes out the night strong in Anaheim. But this is a big moment in team history. It's a big moment individually. Philip Forsberg, 567 career points, puts him past David Legwand, second. Getting all broken up about the David Legwand thing. I covered David Legwand for many years. I'm just kidding. I'm actually somewhat choking on something. But I am getting a little coughed up about David Legwand. Yes, so Philip Forsberg now second all-time on the team in scoring. Sherwood picks up 2 goals in this game. Only 11-15 total time on ice. I put down the note that he was the opportunist. He went to the hard areas and he got rewarded. The 2-on-1 rush where he opted to take the shot. Really nice effort right there, bringing the jam. Good hard skating. The other goal, he finds a good quiet spot. Not too far from the net. And he goes ahead and puts it off the McCarron feed. So Sherwood picks up 2 goals in this game. He looked absolutely great in his time out there. And with only 11-15 time on ice, he should be well ready to take plenty of minutes in Anaheim if needed. Nyquist, slick play at the end of the game. The broadcast, of course, pointed it out a bunch of times that he slowed up, got himself some time and space, and properly finished off the empty net goal. I just made note because Nyquist wasn't on the score sheet in the last couple of days. So a goal, assist, 2 points in the game, 3 shots on goal, 17-10 time on ice. Good for Nyquist out there at the end of the game, helping Nashville Predators close things out. Now Nyquist is at 45 points. He is the player that you didn't know you were going to fall in love with this season, because Nyquist is going to end up with over 50 points for this Nashville Predators team this season. I think he's easily going to get to over 50 points. He's back trending in the right direction with 2 points against the San Jose Sharks. And the captain, Roman Josi, picks up an assist in this game. Also had 5 shots on goal, 24:08 in time on ice on the first night of back-to-backs, 4:32 on the power play. And I specifically made the note about his 1 assist because for the captain, Roman Josi, well, you see, that was his 654th career point as a Nashville Predator. We talked about Philip Forsberg and his 567th point being second now all-time. Roman Josi, of course, is the all-time franchise leader in points. So right now, a very special time for this Nashville Predators franchise as the number 1 and 2 scorers in franchise history are taking the ice together. And they'll do that in the next game against the Anaheim Ducks. So again, a very special time in Predators history. Let's hear from our good friends, Stripe Digital. I'll go ahead and get me a drink during the break. We'll come back. We'll talk about the good cold hard numbers known as the box score. This is the Renegades of Puck podcast.
The digital environment can be quite intimidating, time-consuming, and cumbersome, especially with all those other areas that need attention at your business. And that's why Stripe Digital Solutions is here to help. I know, because that's exactly what Stripe Digital Solutions did for me and the Renegades of Puck. From designing my home website and helping me create my merchandise to special event posters, brand building, and social media management. But it's not just that, it's so much more. Stripe Digital Solutions has helped me every step of the way, from startup to full-time operation. Stripe Digital Solutions has been there to assist and advise every single step of the journey. In today's fast-paced world, the path to success is having a strong digital partner, and nobody is better in the trenches than Brandy and Stripe Digital Solutions. Get the solution before it's even a problem with Stripe Digital Solutions.
Welcome back in Renegades of Puck podcast. I've taken care of whatever it was that I was getting choked up about David Legwand right there. Now we'll talk about the box score, then we'll wrap this episode up. On the box score, your goal scores for the Nashville Predators. Sherwood led the team with 2. Nyquist had 1, an empty netter. Forsberg also had 1 on the power play. When it comes to assist, it was Forsberg picking up an assist. McCarron picked up an assist. Tommy Novak, all he does is make plays, and he's continued with his point streak. Tommy Novak picks up an assist in this game. Gus Nyquist also has an assist. Alex Carey and Roman Josi have assists on the defensive side of things. When it comes to shots on goal, 5 by Roman Josi led the Nashville Predators. We had a trio with 3. Luke Shen had 3. Nyquist had 3. Forsberg had 3. Nyquist and Forsberg scored goals as a part of their 3 shots on net. When it comes to blocked shots, not very many. A very low total for the Nashville Predators in this game. 3 by Carey. Nobody else on the team with more than 1. When it comes to hits, the physical element of the game, this was also quite a depressed total. Luzon with only 2. Smith with only 2. I swear I know I saw more hits than that in this game. So the overall statistics in this game in the box score seem to be a little bit depressed, but don't worry. Vegas and Miami make up for those numbers throughout the season. When it comes to your time on ice, your first night of back-to-backs, it's incredibly important to track that. 18:31 for Philip Forsberg, led all of the forwards. He looked just fine. I expect he won't have any problems going in the second night of back-to-backs. 17:14 for O'Reilly, 17:10 for Nyquist. So a good job by Andrew Burnett balancing and running all 4 lines, even when the game got a little bit tighter and it made it a little more difficult to do that. It's 18:31 and then 17:14, 17:10. That's not a tremendous amount of workload for the top line. They should be good to go in Anaheim. Now, Roman Josi, of course, led the team in total time on ice, 24:08, but he does that each and every night. He'll have no problem duplicating those numbers, even possibly adding more to it in the second night of back-to-backs. 23:22 for McDonough. The rest of the defensemen under 20 minutes. So, again, a good job by Andrew Burnett managing the first night of back-to-backs when it comes to time on ice. Special teams, it was the Nashville Predators going 1 for 3 on the power play. It was Forsberg getting that power play goal. 4:08 of power play time for Philip Forsberg. Led the forwards. Actually, it was tied with Nyquist at 4:08 and Sissons also at 4:08. Josi led the team with power play time on ice at 4:32 in this game. The shorthanded penalty kill situation, Nashville Predators 2 of 2 in this game. They were perfect. 1:39 time on ice for McCarron and 1:30 for Trennan. On the defenseman side of things, 2:34 for McDonough, 2:01 shorthanded time on ice for Alex Carrier. And again, that unit was perfect. Face-off winning percentage for this Nashville Predators team, 53.4%. Good job to see the Nashville Predators back on the upside of that metric again. 14 hits, 12 block shots, 6 takeaways, 4 giveaways. It seems like, and I'm just speculating here, it seems like perhaps the scorekeeper who tracks these stats maybe took a break somewhere during the game. It wasn't the highest event game I've ever seen, but those numbers do seem a little bit low. And there's only one thing left to talk about. It's UC Saros, 23 out of 25. He gave up 2 goals against an in-game save percentage individually of 920, 18 even strength saves, 3 power play saves, 2 shorthanded saves. Again, the team in front of him was not the best, but he was excellent in this game. Now, listen, that's going to do it for the box score. Let's close it out. And I labeled this game in San Jose ugly yet productive. The Nashville Predators, in order to get to the goal that I set for them on this road trip, they needed to get those points, or at least a point in San Jose, to get 7 out of 10 points. Instead, the Nashville Predators have opted to go next level up and go for the optimal plan, and they have now picked up 8 out of 8 points, going 4-0 on the road trip. Tough stops in Vegas, tough stop in St. Louis, tough stop in Anaheim or in LA, and now winnable games in San Jose, but the ugliest game on the road trip so far was against San Jose. I hope that's not previewing things to come in Anaheim. The Nashville Predators have an opportunity to close this thing out strong. Again, ugly yet productive. Those are the types of games when you have teams below you in the standings, you just need to seize the opportunity and get the points. A 4-2 victory overall at the end when you're just scanning through it. Everything looks good and orderly about that. The Nashville Predators now 2-0 against San Jose Sharks on the season, and they've outscored them by plenty. But it was ugly towards the end of the second, the beginning of the third. And the Nashville Predators kind of sunk back on their effort and their defensive zone coverage and truly weren't bringing the level of effort or competitive skill and competitive play that they had in the previous games on this road trip. So again, ugly yet productive. The Nashville Predators move on 4-0 on the road trip, 8 out of 8 in points, and back in a wild card spot, back in the playoffs. After the loss to Dallas, and you couldn't hear it enough on the broadcast recently, after that loss, it is very much a surprise to find that the Nashville Predators have turned things around and won every game since and are back in a playoff spot when it seemed like the team was collapsing and it was doom and gloom, time to sell and time to jump ship. For the Nashville Predators, they have a chance to close out this road trip, a make or break road trip, and they have an opportunity to go 5-0. Close strong. Come on back home for some good home cooking. Talking about closing strong, it was the closing weekend for the Nashville Spartans in the USPHL Premier Division Junior Hockey here in the Nashville area. Had an opportunity to call my 47th game for the Nashville Spartans. I want to take you back to the Gary Force Acura Ice Arena and take you back to the Middle Tennessee area for a Friday night. This is my recap and highlights from the Spartans versus the Cincinnati Cyclones, the next to last game of the regular season. Here you go. Here's the presentation. Have a great night, Renegades of Puck. We'll be back covering the Ducks, and the Preds will be back in the bunker for operation number 876. Don't you worry about a thing. Sunday night, you'll have fresh content, more to consume. Stick, taps, love, and respect, Renegades. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. This is Spartans Hockey. Swords up. Prepare for battle.
I'm Charlie Saunier, voice of the Nashville Spartans, and tonight, under the light of the full moon, the Nashville Spartans welcome in the Cincinnati Cyclones for the final regular season series here at the Gary Force Acura Ice Arena. It's time to close out the regular season. The Nashville Spartans will close the Great Lakes Division in second place, regardless of what happens this weekend, with a record of 34-7-1, 69 points, has the Spartans 9 points behind the first place Metro Jets, locked into a playoff position. Our last home series of the weekend. It's incredibly exciting, it's incredibly fun, but it's also just a little bit sad. But don't worry, playoff hockey is coming up right here at the Gary Force Acura Ice Arena. That's going to be on March the 10th, March the 11th, and if necessary, March the 12th. Make sure you check out the website, get those tickets now. It is time to close out the regular season for Nashville Spartans hockey here at the Gary Force Acura Ice Arena. I'm the voice of the Spartans, Charlie Saunier. It's time to bring you the no half-step in hockey coverage. Swords up. Prepare for glory. It is the final weekend series for the regular season here for the Nashville Spartans. The Spartans start tonight's play after 42 games skated with a record of 34-7-1, 69 points, has them 9 points beyond the first place Metro Jets. The Spartans will finish in second place in the Great Lakes Division, already clinched a playoff berth. They've scored 287 goals on the season. They've given up just 83 against. That's a goal differential of plus 204 on the year. On the Gary Force Acura Ice Arena sheet, 13-1. They've scored 121 goals. They've given up 14 against with 6 shutouts. We'll see Hayden Hurt get the start in net tonight. Mason Hart's out at center to take the opening puck drop. They'll be flanked to the right by Karaman, to the left by Flynn. McCauley and Ingersoll out at the blue line. The puck is down for the final weekend regular series between the Nashville Spartans and the Cincinnati Cyclones. Spartans get another scoring opportunity right there, and that's going to be the first goal of the game for the Nashville Spartans. That puck is going to be into the net. It was banked in off of the back of the netminder Gingold. 4-0 now in favor of the Nashville Spartans. He came up with an incredible save, but the play from below the goal line banked in. Spartans on the board again. Hartz was looking to work the front of the net. Karaman and Hartz in the corner go to battle, and it's Hartz still working for it, and Hartz gets it and stuffs it into the net. Hartz was determined right there on that play to get that rebound into the net, and he finally, on maybe the third whack, pushes it in. Karaman will grab the puck in the defensive zone. He'll carry over the red line, over the blue line, cut towards the middle, look for a shooting solution, and there's that shooting solution. The puck is in the net. Karaman, another goal. Now the Spartans lead 6-0 in this game. Highly contested puck. Their bodies coming together. Spartans come out of there with it. Another shot turned aside by Gingold. Rebound over here to McCauley on the half wall. McCauley plays it back deep behind the net. Spartans looking to get it to the slot area. Murray was not in a shooting position, so he has to send it back out high. Now Murray looking for the shooting position. He'll dangle towards the net, look to feed it to the slot area. Spartans could not get it. Now they will, and they will put it into the net. That is some of the longest sustained pressure that I have ever seen in this sport. Nashville Spartans, first goal of the period, now leads 7-0. Spartans get the puck to the front of the net. No one knows where it is, and now they do. It's in the net. The Nashville Spartans score on some rebound jam. Flynn moves down along the wall. He'll look to go to the interior, takes it towards the net, goes behind the net, and puts it up into the top corner with the lift, the lacrosse, the Svechnikov. Kudos to the Cincinnati defender right there. Ronan Keenan is not an easy person to body off of a puck. Chisholm carries the puck in, fires it, and it's in the back of the net. The Spartans have reached double digits here at the Gary Force Acura Ice Arena. Spartans get the puck down low, and they get the shot off of a defender and into the corner. Spartans are going to be able to retrieve, bring it back out high, hold on. Keenan now takes it to the face-off dot. High shot goes up off of the mask of Gingold. He checks to make sure the straps are okay. Everything seems to be just fine for the netminder for the Cincinnati Cyclones. That was a pretty hard shot. Take it right off the mask. Keenan coming back in, dragging to the middle. Keenan tries to tuck it in, and he will do so. Ronan Keenan uses that long reach and big frame to tuck the puck in the net for the 11th goal of the game for the Nashville Spartans. Kerriman will take the face off this time instead of Keenan. Spartans giving some other players opportunities to take some draws, and Kerriman wins the face off. Keenan holds it along the half wall, backhands it down for Kerriman in the corner, sends it back towards the slot for Flynn. Flynn couldn't get the clean shot off. Spartans continue driving towards the net. That's going to be into the net. Keenan crashing hard, finishes the play, and now the Spartans do have that 12th goal of the game. Keenan now with 36 goals on the season. He has the hat trick in tonight's game. 15:35 to go in this game. Kerriman walks in, and he'll tuck that puck into the net with ease. 13-0 Spartans. Kerriman, unchecked, left alone, walked right into the net, faked out to Carlo, and tucks the puck into the empty net. Spartans not only get the clear, but Hartz will skate it out with Indelicato, and Delicato with speed. He'll look to cut towards the net. He'll be able to do so. That's a big save by DiCarlo. Hartz gets the rebound follow-up, could not get it to go. Back to 5-on-5 hockey. Walker has it out high, fires it off the glove of DiCarlo, and Delicato put back goes behind the net. That's going to allow a clearing attempt, but it will not go. Kerriman out of the box, has the puck, moves towards the net. Handles, sends it to the weak side, and the Spartans convert right there. Immediately back to 5-on-5 hockey, back onto the offense, and they put another goal into the back of the net. Spartans continue their face-off dominance in this game. Murray carries the puck down low. Spartans could not get the shot in the slot area. Cincinnati's going to come away with it. They're going to dump it out into the neutral zone. And that's going to do it for the Spartans power play, but Murray's going to carry it across the line. He's got other Spartans with him, and the Spartans are going to finish that play off just after we return to 5-on-5 hockey. It's Kombu putting the puck in the net for the Spartans' 15th goal of the game. He chips it past DiCarlo. And again, we appreciate each and every one of you for watching us on Flow Hockey, whether that's here in Middle Tennessee, whether that's back in Cincinnati or any of our other great hockey towns across the hockey landscape. We sure do appreciate your viewership. We appreciate your time. And the most important thing of all, we appreciate each and every one of you. Under 15 to go in this game. Guest carries it over the line for Cincinnati. Keenan takes it away. Keenan springs Sikowski. Sikowski looks for one more shot. Sikowski's shot goes blocker side wide. Final 2 seconds of the period. And that's going to do it here for the Nashville Spartans, securing a 15-0 win over the Cincinnati Cyclones at the Gary Force Acura Ice Arena. Spartans will move to 35-7-1 on the season. They'll have 71 points. And they'll finish in second place in the Great Lakes Division. One more game to go in the regular season. The Nashville Spartans will come to center ice, and they will give their 3-stick tap salute to the crowd. while the Cincinnati Cyclones go ahead and get their equipment together, and then they'll make their way off of the rink. We'll reset, regroup, and we'll do this all again tomorrow night here from the Gary Force Acura Ice Arena. I've been the voice of the Spartans, Charlie Saunier. Thank you so much for joining us here for Nashville Spartans Hockey. Spartans 15, Cyclones 0. That's going to do it for our coverage here at the Gary Force Acura Ice Arena. You're watching Nashville's premier junior team, the Nashville Spartans, on Flow Hockey. Good night from Nashville.